Hi, I'm Shelley Fashan. I'm one of the co-founders of the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival. I consider myself a cultural advocate and volunteer in my community, and I'm from the community of Cherry Brook.
My name is Tara Taylor. I'm the Artistic Director of Charles Taylor Theatre and Media Arts Association and co-founder of the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival. I am from the lovely, lovely town of East Preston, a part of the Preston Township.
Every great story begins with a spark of inspiration. In 2010, visionary artists and cultural leaders founded the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Their mission was to provide a platform for underrepresented voices in film, with a special focus on African Nova Scotian and culturally diverse filmmakers. 15 years later, Emerging Lens has grown into a celebrated annual event, showcasing powerful stories that amplify marginalized perspectives, challenge societal norms, and inspire change. This festival is more than a series of film screenings. It's a movement, a celebration of identity, heritage, and the art of storytelling. Over the years, Emerging Lens has accomplished remarkable milestones, hosted dozens of workshops empowering aspiring filmmakers with industry skills, showcased hundreds of films from local, national, and international creators, featured powerful panel discussions and artist talks, bringing together creatives and audiences to explore culture, identity, and the transformative power of film. The festival's impact extends far beyond the screen. It fosters community connections, provides educational opportunities, and nurtures emerging talent, positioning Halifax as a vibrant hub for cultural storytelling. Welcome to the Emerging Lens, Behind the Vision, a story of dreams, determination, and the boundless possibilities of cultural expression. In this short film, we sit down with the passionate minds behind the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival, its dedicated board members and visionary co-founders. They share their journey, their hopes for the future, and the driving force behind their commitment to amplifying diverse voices in cinema.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Why did you start the festival? How did the festival get its beginnings?
Okay, I gotta go back 15 years. It began really with Tara helped me do some editing on a film that I did on a matriarch in Cherry Brook. We had the scholarship launch, and so at that night, which was a beautiful night, my film was showcased, and Tara said, well, she had done a screening of her film in East Preston. And so we kind of just started to chat. And then Delvina Bernard was there, and Delvina said, well, you know, really, there's not enough stories from our community. And so I don't know, it was just like we all kind of came to the same thought. And she says, well, I'll give you some money to support doing the first Emerging Lens Festival. So that's kind of how the beginnings, you know, there was just a sense that, you know, our stories have no place, no platform. So we thought we'd create one.
There's actually a funny story. Everybody always asks, like, oh, what was the first year like and all that kind of thing. But the actual quote unquote first year of Emerging Lens was when I decided, I don't even know why I decided to do a festival. But once that happened, I'm like, oh, well, how do you put that together? So I literally went to Walmart to buy a handheld camera, shot a bunch of stuff around the community, and didn't know how to put together a poster, didn't know how to put out no marketing, and edited about 6 videos. I don't even know how I got the word out, but I got it out so that at least 6 people showed up, but the right 6 people showed up. Shelley Fashan showed up. And so she said, well, dear, like a cute little mama pat on the head, she said, well, you have a really good idea and concept here, but you don't know nothing about marketing, and I'm gonna teach you. So it was really nice. So I showed them the 6 films, and they enjoyed them. It was like a music video I did with my cousins, and just some scenery around East Preston and whatnot. And they had a big, like, 52-inch television there that I screened it on. So just wanted to, like, I didn't have any resources to figure out how do you continue in the industry. So when Shelley and I talked afterwards, now you have 15 years later, Emerging Lens today.
Hi, I'm Kayla Borden. I am the treasurer, sometimes photographer, and talent scout of the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival. And I am from, I say I'm from both sides of the bridges. I'm from South Woodside and Spryfield area. I'm African Nova Scotian and Jamaican.
My name is Victoria Snow, and I've been working with Emerging Lens mostly on the planning committee, a little bit of social media and promotions for an unknown amount of time, maybe since 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. And I'm from Cape Breton, but I've been in Halifax for like 20 years, so yeah, Haligonian now.
My name is Randon Wright. I come from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Cole Harbour specifically. My parents do have the great roots of coming from Africville and Beachville, 2 great historical Black communities, one that is still with us, one that is now a museum, unfortunately. I have been with the Emerging Lens now for a couple years. It's been a great experience. The Emerging Lens has helped me with my own film career and helping me get into the right spaces, meeting the right people, and just basically learning the business altogether. And the great programs that they have. I recently did Black Above the Line, which was an excellent program, gave me such great real-world experience that is invaluable. Such a great program. And I'm just feel so fortunate and blessed to be a part of the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival.
So back in the day, Emerging Lens used to be in the Coast newspaper that you could get for free like anywhere. And I would like take the paper and go through and see, okay, what's going on? What do I want to check out? And I came across the film festival and I was like, okay, cool, let's check it out. So I went to the North Branch Library, I'm pretty sure, and it was an amazing night. The films were great. Everything that was happening it just felt really good. And I ended up getting in touch with Shelley and Tara, being like, do you need any volunteers? And they're like, yeah, we do. And basically they took me under their wing from there. And that's the story.
Yes, how did I get started with the festival? I honestly don't even know how I got started with the festival. I think just I showed up and then I just never left.
What role has community and local talent played in shaping the festival?
Oh, it plays a big role because we felt our festival has to speak to us in our culture, in the way we express ourselves. So community was really a very important part. We always start our festival showcasing local talent, emerging talent, sometimes established talent, but something we must start our festival and setting our tone. As you know, in our community, most of the things that we do begin with a prayer, a poem, a song, something that signifies bringing us all together. And so that's the one thing that we do. So we've featured a lot of local talent. You know, we really have, from dancers to visual artists, you know, to spoken word, and, you know, and also community. We involve the community right to the catering. We use local caterers. We use local folks for technical, you know, positions. Lindell Smith has been one of our technicians. Kiki Beats, local photographers like Chad Johnson. And so our community is an expression of who we are as well. So it's really important.
Local talent, local filmmakers has played a significant and integral role in shaping what Emerging Lens is today, because without them it wouldn't be possible. So I do remember actually in our real first year of Emerging Lens, like people coming, it was actually based on around one film. I believe it was based out of a film program that Shortworks Productions put on, and then we screened the result of their documentary music video at the Black Cultural Center. And so we had one funder at the time, and that was Case, supported by Delvina Bernard. So we always give her the credit of supporting us first. But they didn't think that there was enough talent or filmmakers in the community to warrant continuing year after year after year. And so as a part of growing the festival, Shelley and I had to come up with ways to actually develop and kind of harvest, if you will, talent from the community. They were already there. We just had to find them, and find them we did.
So we gonna have a real good time. Hey, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Everyone enjoy it, y'all? So I guess we're gonna calm down. So movies.
So another thing as well, you know, people's careers have popped off coming through Emerging Lens first. Everything from musicians to screenwriters to set design. I feel like the Emerging Lens is a staple in the industry in a whole, not just in film, but in careers. The creators of Studio Black came here before to consult with them to help them find directors and stage designs and etc., because they didn't know other Black folk that was doing it. So Emerging Lens really helped with putting them on to come and see what we're doing here.
Well, when it comes to community and local talent, Nova Scotia is just filled with so many talented people, whether it's an actor to a musician to someone who is part of the crew. There are so many talented people here, and for many years I wasn't even aware that there was that much talent here. The Emerging Lens definitely opened my eyes to that, so I feel it's a great avenue for people to be able to easily access the talent in the community and in the province.
I feel like every year I learn so much about community, and especially Black community in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Dartmouth. Just there's so many different artists and different talents that come out. Like we always bring on live music, or it could be even drummers or dancers or spoken word, and then all the films. So many films coming out of there, and we're always putting on for them, right? So there's that. And then also just like I used to do more work in community with young artists, and it was always really important to me to make sure that they knew about the festival, and also like that was a way to get them involved. So like getting all those young people involved, and yeah, so it's just all like, so everything about the festival kind of circulates around local talent. And but now, yeah, we are bigger, and we are doing more and working with people across the whole world, which is great too, but it's definitely our local talents that keep it going.
I mean, community talent is a big thing for this festival. You know, there is a lot of talent in Nova Scotia, and I feel like Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival is a platform for that talent. You know, everything from musicians, tech, production. I feel like, you know, once you come into the community and see other people that look like you doing these things, you're interested in it as well because you're like, oh, I can do this too.
We, on behalf of the board of Charles Taylor Theater and Emerging Lens, we want to present Mr. Sobaz Benjamin with the Inspirational Creative Industries Leader Award. Yes. You deserve this in so many ways. I think that we have to let folks have to know the impact that Sobaz is having in the creative industries.
Tell us some of your favorite festival moments.
Ooh, over 15 years, festival favorites, wow. One memorable comical moment was at the Black Cultural Center when sound didn't work, so we literally had to take the microphone and put it onto the speaker on the computer so people could hear it. That was Ghetto Productions at its best. And folks were laughing, but they were very, very very gracious in understanding what was going on. So it's just nice to remember those humble beginnings. And now we have technical directors that know what they're doing, and we have spaces and places of renting equipment that we that now it's way better. It's way better. No more sound breaking down. It's a favorite just because it goes to show you the growth of where you're at now. So then the other one at Pier 21, we screened one called Brown Girl Begins, and that was by Sharon Lewis. And so she actually came, and we sometimes we were able to fly in filmmakers to enjoy that moment. And all of us just had some fun at the end, taking pictures, and we did like the Wakanda sign. So that was really, really fun. Gosh, like I think every year is a fun favorite memory. Like there's at least one. But yeah, that's probably got to be the best one. And then of course, all the crying moments. So when you don't expect that, you're going to watch something because because we see the films beforehand, you think that, oh yeah, the emotions are gone. You know, we're just screening this for the public and to enjoy. But no, when you're actually sitting there amongst the crowd and amongst your audience, and you take in it again, like with people, those moments are really, really special to enjoy, like the filmmaker's work.
Oh my goodness. I told you, my memory's not that great. But I would say I really enjoy moments where we get to showcase young people. And I find the creativity is just it has no bounds. It really doesn't. So, for example, we had one year where a young person had done a video on her phone and presented it at Emerging Lens, and learning all kinds of new things. We had one filmmaker that we bought from BC who talked to us about Hogan's Alley, which was the Black community in Vancouver that was just erased for urban development. Kind of the same story as Africville, but I mean, we didn't know anything about that. And then we had one filmmaker who did a film on how the gentrification of Gaudigan Street and the North End has happened. And he was from the Sudan, but he could see it happening, in the few years he was here. And he got lots of international acclaim over that story, Fateh Ahmed. And so we've had some really great learning moments. I narrated on an animation on Africville, and I mean, it was a story that about a midwife, Esther, I believe her name was, and she was the only documented person for during the Halifax explosion, because she was put on a train to Truro, so they had a record of her. But the people who died in Africville, there's no records of those people, So, I mean, we've had some incredible moments with these stories, and we will continue.
I don't have as much time with the film festival as some of the other people who are on the board, but I definitely in my short time have had some great moments. One would be, myself would be something very personal to me, was me showing my own work for the first time. So that was my very first time ever showing any of my work to the public, was through the Emerging Lens. So to me, that was definitely a great moment that definitely brought some tears to my eyes. I always try to represent myself as someone who has it all together, even if real, and something I'll never forget. Another great moment, well, there's just been so many, but I thoroughly enjoy the food. So every year there's always such great catering done. So that's definitely one of my favorite parts of the festival. I love food altogether, I just love to eat. But the festival definitely brings in such great caterers that definitely bring some good meals to the table.
I think back to, it was again at the North Branch Library, and we had a really big panel of young artists that were there that night showcasing music videos. And we also had some other animations that were coming out of, I think it was maybe NSCC. I don't know, sometimes I get the years mixed up because there's been so many years and so many amazing films. But that night we had Arenye, who's a local artist. He's Nigerian born, but local here in Halifax. And it was just a huge party. Everyone was so excited. It was super hype. Everybody loved it. And he had the whole place going. It was really a really solid night, and I'll never forget that. And another night too, which I don't know if it was the same year or some other year around there, but we were all at the Black Cultural Center. And I just remember the film was profound, and then there was this huge meal afterwards, and everybody was just there in community, and it was just a really, really good feeling. Yeah.
Some of my favorite festival moments goes back to, I can only remember one that really sticks out to me, and that was when we did the festival. One of our nights was at the Rogers Square Center, downtown Halifax, where we screened some of the films on the screens outside. We also had Mr. Smooth's food truck there, and we had local artist Harms performing. I mean, it was really cold day, but people showed up, and it was just good to see it on the big screen. So as people were walking by, they could see that something was happening, so they even stopped to see what was going on.
Looking forward, what do you envision for the Emerging Lens?
Well, we've kind of been, how can I say, fertile ground for a lot of filmmakers. So I would like that to continue. Our training, we have Black Above the Line, and I forget what the other one is called, but there's 2 training courses, one with partnership with NSCC, one with NESCAD. So, I would love to have a space where we can do a lot of training and development in our communities around filmmaking. I really want us to be a real integral part of the industry. Yeah, I think I want to see those. I want us to have an office and, people get paid. I mean, it's all volunteerism right now. I would like that sustainability piece for us as well.
So the programs that Shelley and I created, one's called Breaking Through the Screens for African Canadians, and one's called Black Above the Line for African Canadians as well. And so the 2 partnerships of Breaking Through the Screens with Nova Scotia Community College, and Black Above the Line was partnered with Nova Scotia College of Art and Design. And so Breaking Through the Screens, that program trains your what we call below the line position, so that's your crew position. So set design, set production assistant, lighting, grip, that type of thing. And those students graduated through NSCC, partnered with Lighthouse Arts Center, partnered with This Hour's 22 Minutes. So they got a chance to work on that production and gain those skills. And then Black Above the Line would be your creative team, so your producer, your writer, your director, and so on and so forth, makeup, animation, acting. And so we just realized that we were kind of tired of the one-off program, so you would train for a position here or there, but we actually need a whole industry. So we've said before in many different on many different platforms that the current union here only has literally not even 20 Black folk in it yet. And so not an issue in terms of like, we don't have anything against the union. We're actually working with the union to help in our way that we can with our community to build that up. And so we have probably graduated since we've started 5 years ago, maybe a little over 110-ish, 112-ish folks off the top of my head that are now working in the industry. Some still full-time, they've made their own productions, but others joining other productions. And just recently, we're really proud of our script supervisor that we trained, and she got a chance to work on Sullivan's Crossing for about a week. So really, really proud of where it's taking off to.
Looking forward, what do you envision for the Emerging Lens?
I mean, I can only imagine that it's going to get bigger. Like, basically, we run out of time every night because we have so many films. So it's like, and we're too, like, we're getting films like internationally. So I feel it's going to be bigger, more nights, and maybe like, you know, this whole like operating, like having their own office and stuff like that, so that they have staff and that they can, you know, work on it throughout the year without as much stress on, you know, the people who are currently doing all that work, being Tara and Shelley.
I don't know, I feel like the festival's only getting bigger each year. You know, there's new things that pop off throughout the different years of the festival. So I feel like, you know, we're only gonna get bigger and better each year. And I feel like this festival really showcases people that you might not have seen before. So, I mean, keep on coming out to the festival.
I see a lot because I see that it's still in its infancy. So even though it's been around for 15 years, it still has a lot of potential for growth. I see a lot more collaborations with other festivals, with other organizations. I see more focus on artists doing like bigger shows at the beginning. I see a more larger focus on the streaming service. So currently you can stream on Roku. I see that being something that is going to be something that we have available all year round with new work going on consistently. So people not having to wait till the festival to give us their work. We can put it up and stream it at any point in the year. So I definitely see lots of growth for the festival. I see it going beyond Nova Scotia and being an international player.
Looking forward to the future of Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival. And Shelley and I always joke every year that we're done, and not done with the festival, just done with all of the tasks, the many tasks throughout the year that has to be done, because we want to build towards having a strong team. We have a strong board already, but we want to add to them so that they don't have all the pressures of putting together the festival. So the future would be operational funding towards having a staff, and we would probably stay on as advisory members and that type of thing, and of course supporting once the day comes, and also having an infrastructure built that we can actually have a space that's all of our own to create throughout the year, run those film programs throughout the year. So basically building up the industry here. So Shelley and I have kind of taken that on with others in our two boards that we've created to build infrastructure in order to create more content. So that's probably the future that I see for Emerging Lenses, to grow, and actually be global.
What advice would you give to the next generation of filmmakers, directors, screenwriters, and all industry professionals?
Well, I don't know if I have any great advice other than to tell your stories and tell them as you want to tell them. Express yourself in your authentic ways.
Advice that I'd probably give to emerging, established, mid-career professionals in our industry, especially from the Black community, is just to start. Make content, get involved. Come contact us if you have no clue of where to go. There are places like AFCOOP, Atlantic Film Cooperative, Center for Arts Tapes. We have relationships with all of them, and plus now we have our programming. So there's no excuse, and I say no reason. I normally would say no reason, but I now am changing that. There's no excuse, because I make them a lot up excuses of why, oh, we're too busy, or there's too much, or you have this responsibility, you have that responsibility. Your responsibility is, if you want to be in this industry, it's to start and just make a bunch of content. It doesn't matter what it is, because guess what? The mainstream film industry, they made tons of mistakes way back, and some of their stuff still don't look no good. So, but some of it looks good, but a lot doesn't. So everyone's still making mistakes, and they learn from their mistakes when they create more work. So you just have to just start somewhere.
Just come out and see what's going on. You never know what you're interested into unless you take that step forward just to go out and see what's happening. You also can build a network of folks that will help you along your journey if you're interested in doing this type of stuff.
I myself have never been a filmmaker or done anything like that. I've always just been like an admirer and a supporter and somebody on the volunteer side of things. But from what I'm hearing, like it's mostly like getting out there and doing that. And yeah, there is a lot of people now who are focused on like content making, but I think it can go a step further and to like really tell a story, you know, tell your stories, and what's important to you is most likely important to others. And so I think it's just a matter of getting involved, looking for the right people to get involved with, and doing what you can to like take the next step with your content.
The advice I would give for any future creators, anyone in the industry, is the same advice that I hear over and over again from Tara, is just do it. Just get your work out there, just make something. And it's something I live by because I initially, when I was initially starting, I didn't have much experience in the industry at all, but I just got a camera, got some mics, got some lights, and I made something and put it out there. And now, a couple years later, I see like my career starting to flourish. I'm getting more opportunities. I'm meeting a lot of great people. And it's all because I just started. I got out of my head and just started. So that's the advice I would give to anyone. Just do it. You know you have the ideas, you know you're a creative person. Just share it with us and you'll grow from there.
I think 2025 for the 15th year is like epic. And I'm just like, I'm excited that, you know, the team is strong and we're all coming together to put this on again for the 15th year, which is just such a huge milestone. And I think it's going to be a really great event. And I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know, just come out and watch the show. I feel like it's one of the, I want to say underrated, because I feel like a lot of people still don't know about Emerging Lens, but it's a festival that has many mediums to it, and there's something for everyone to see or even realize like they might be interested in doing that as well. So come out and check out the films, come and check out the talent. 15 years.
I will always be so thankful for Emerging Lens. Like I said, it was a starting point for my own career, so it's always going to hold such a place in my heart. I'll always call Emerging Lens home. This is going to be my first stop. This is going to be where I want to screen my films, and I think it's where you should want to screen your films as well. It's a great starting point for anyone, and it doesn't even have to be your starting point. You can be at any point in your career and come to the Emerging Lens. I know it says emerging, but we encompass all creatives. So you can bring your art here no matter what stage you're at. Like I said, what the advice you get from Tara, just do it. And that's gonna be where you're gonna be your first jumping off point, you're gonna be your second jumping off point, and it's gonna be where you see your career just taking off. So just bring your work over here. We love new creators.
I mean, I'm excited to celebrate the co-founders of this festival. You know, they put a lot of work into this. We're able to give them their flowers now. A lot of people don't get their flowers being alive, so giving them their flowers now is very important.
Well, I'm excited about 2025. So, and we always leave feeling good about what's happened. Even for all the exhaustive work, it's always well worth it, especially when we hear from somebody who's gone on to do something else, or someone who says, I really appreciate hearing that story. So yeah, grateful.
So we are in our 15th year of Emerging Lens, and while that sounds like a lot of time, I guess it kind of is. I really truly feel like our work is just beginning. So it took 15 years to kind of get to a place of comfort that we actually kind of know how to run the event. We know how to book performers. We know how to find content. We know we have lots of relationships made, lots of partnerships, but I just feel like we're just on that cusp of really creating something that could be huge. Much like the Toronto Film Festival, another partnership we have is the St. John's Women's Film Festival. So just getting really having those festivals to look to for inspiration, and the Atlantic Film Festival, beautiful festivals. And so we feel like we're pretty much there, and we have a long ways to go so that folks can come in, have an idea, create some work, and then get it screened around the world.
As the curtains close on this chapter of the Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival, we are reminded of the power of storytelling, a universal thread that connects us, challenges us, and inspires us to see the world through new perspectives. What began as a vision to amplify underrepresented voices has blossomed into a thriving cultural event, enriching lives and empowering storytellers across communities. Over the past 15 years, Emerging Lens has become a beacon of creativity, resilience, and cultural pride, reminding us that every story, no matter how small, has the power to make an impact. The heart of the Emerging Lens lies in its people, the filmmakers, the audience, the volunteers, and the dedicated team who have worked tirelessly to make this festival a reality. Together, they've built something more than just a film festival. They've created a movement that uplifts voices, celebrates diversity, and shapes the cultural fabric of Nova Scotia and beyond. As we look ahead, Emerging Lens continues to evolve, opening doors for the next generation of storytellers and paving the way for bold, new perspectives. Because at its core, this festival is about more than film. It's about community, connection, and the courage to tell your story. Thank you for joining us on this journey behind the lens. Here's to the stories yet to be told, and to the voices waiting to be heard.
You guys looked at me like that.
Cut.
Here's one take wonder.
Yeah, cut. Perfect. That was beautiful.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I forgot to mention our volunteers.
Oh, no.
It's all good.
It's not about us, not this time.
It's about you guys.